Should be good. See if everybody's picking up on the text. I don't have my phone. My phone's charging.
Like the Matrix grid?
Yes.
Are we on?
Yeah, we should be live. Just
This is my favorite part every time we start
It's
a
on
stream.
an ad break right now.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
great. All right, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Babylon Cast. I think that's what it's called. Tonight, we're going to be talking about all those new Nintendo Switch rumors, a bunch of other kind of fun stuff like the Xbox E3 showcase and all kinds of goodies. But before that, Johnny, why don't you hit that intro for me, buddy?
I got you. Oh no. Here we go.
What's going on, everybody? Like I said earlier, this is the Babylon Cast. I am one of your hosts, Andrew Beller. Joining me tonight, as always, is Black Kool-Aid himself, Johnny. How you doing, buddy?
I'm being good. How are you?
I am fan-freaking-tastic. I'm so excited to be here tonight with you guys.
Hold on to that thought. Keep going.
Okay.
I'm just making sure everybody's face is moving because the only one that's moving right now is Chris. So 1 second.
Also,
I was actually watching that on the stream myself, trying to figure out if everybody else was frozen or what.
Yeah. Give me...
We like to do that around here.
Yeah, it's a garbage truck on fire. But also joining me tonight, as always, is the little boy, Kyle Barron.
Hey, dude. What's up, man?
What's all, dude? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm a little tired, but I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. How you're tired?
I just got school stuff, editing stuff. I'm just a little busy.
Dude, drink a Monster.
Ah.
Joining us for the first time tonight, but actually not really because he was here last time, but in a small little can. We've got Crisco. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, how's it going? It's good to actually be here this week. I had some personal issues that came up and I had to deal with that. So unfortunately, I missed our debut show, so to speak. But I'm here this week and happy to join everybody.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to having some conversations with you. And I'm also really looking forward to having some conversations with the duteous Max himself. Pat, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Nice. Great. I'm glad that you're here. I'm looking forward to arguing with you about Nintendo Switch. But you know who I'm looking forward to not arguing with the Nintendo Switch about, and someone that's going to be on my side is Rye Guy himself. Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing great, and you're damn right I'm going to agree with you because you and we had to, stick together as Nintendo kids, right?
Yeah, we have an alliance here. Okay, for those who are joining in for the first time, there was an alliance built last Friday on Babylon Cast episode 1. I am the Nintendo Switch guy, but so is Ryan. So we formed an alliance and we're teaming up to take down Dudious Max and Black Kool-Aid because they're the enemies.
Cheers.
So
Seems all like console wars, the Twitch strat.
yes, but with that being said, let's just kick this show right off. And Ryan, I need to ask you something, buddy.
Yes.
Do you like Sonic?
I love Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, that's great because guess what, buddy? You're going to tell us all about that Sonic showcase.
Yeah, all right. So Sega put together a little kind of Nintendo Direct style presentation for Sonic's 30th anniversary. First of all, I cannot believe that Sonic is 30 years old. It makes me feel incredibly old. I would say most of you guys, half of us probably weren't even alive when Sonic came out. So that's fun. So yeah, Sega had a presentation, a little kind of direct on their own to announce some Sonic projects coming up across multiple media. The biggest news of the bunch was that there is a new 3D Sonic game coming out for all the major consoles. They just did a little teaser of it at the very, very end, so your guess is as good as mine as to what the story is going to be about. But a 3D Sonic game, it's been kind of hit and miss over the years. Let us not forget Sonic 06.
Oh,
It's like dirty, like dark magic. But there have been some good 3D Sonic games. One of them being Sonic Colors, which they announced a remaster of. It looks awesome. Sonic Colors, if you haven't played it, is in a lot of people's opinions, one of the better 3D Sonic games to come out in the last decade or so. So really great that they're doing a remaster for that. They're also doing a Sonic Origins collection. So this is going to be a collection of the first 3 Sonic games, plus Sonic & Knuckles and Sonic CD. So that right there is amazing. As far as 2D Sonic games go, those are collections of the best, so really happy to see that. There's some mobile games coming out. They're doing some crossovers in a few games. Although, when they showed the Tokyo Games segment, I lost it because that Sonic costume. I'm not sure if I should really get into furry stuff right now. And Pat,
You're gonna lose the biggest audience, man.
I was getting furry vibes from that because it was very realistic looking, not like an animated Sonic, but more like just a guy running around in a Sonic costume. I lost it when it did that. But, there's some really cool things outside of that. There's 2 animated shorts coming out based off of Sonic Colors. Cool. Rise of the Wisps was one of them. It's a 2-part animated series based on the game. So there's a lot of cool Sonic stuff coming up. And I'm going to say something, Andrew, that may shock you. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Come on.
I thought that Sega did a better job promoting Sonic's 30th anniversary than Nintendo did promoting Mario's 35th.
You know what? I agree 100%. Completely. And don't forget, it's also Pokemon's 25th anniversary. It's also Legend of Zelda's, 35th anniversary this year,
yeah.
and we haven't heard anything about those, really. So, I mean, I agree completely. I think this the presentation and showcase was really cool, but there was one giant thing missing, and I think a lot of you probably already know what I'm going to say. Where's Sonic Adventure 3?
Maybe we're going to get Sonic Adventure 3. That could be what they're teasing.
But why not just say that?
Because you gotta hook people.
Are you kidding me? You would have hooked people if you just put on the screen Sonic Adventure 3. You didn't have to put 2022. You could have just said Sonic Adventure 3, and you would have had millions of people exploding in their chairs.
Oh my.
And the fans.
Very violent.
I'm just saying, man. Sonic Adventure 2 is one of my all-time favorite games, and I've been waiting for that third one to come out. But who knows? I mean, I'm excited about everything that's happening. I'm a big Sonic fan, so I'm very excited. I never really played Sonic Colors too much, so I am excited to hop back in and play. So that'll be fun. Why wasn't there a trailer for the new movie, though? That's what I want to know.
That was a little, that's maybe they're just not far enough along in production to be able to put a trailer out there. Even a teaser might have been nice. Yeah. But, the fact that there's a lot of Sonic content coming in the next year or so is pretty exciting. Sonic had a rough patch there in like the, mid-aughts to early 2010s, but hopefully the Blue Blur is coming back in a big way. That Sonic movie, one of the better video game movies that I've seen. That's not perfect, but it's pretty good.
Absolutely.
No,
it
is
way better than any video game movie I've seen.
Oh my gosh.
Detective Pikachu's good.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu's awesome, but Kyle,
I don't know that I consider that a video game movie.
I need you to tell them how I reacted to it, okay?
I was so happy that we brought this up because I was thinking about it the whole time. I was like, how am I going to segue into this story? So me, Andrew, and his wife went to go see Sonic the Hedgehog. And out of all the children in the theater, Andrew was the most excited one of them all. At the end of the movie, the kids have lost interest. The kids are running around doing their own thing, and Andrew's yelling at the screen, only voice you hear in the whole theater, and I'm sitting right next to him.
I was very excited, but you know what? I wasn't nearly as excited as Johnny probably was with this Xbox E3 showcase announcement. Johnny, why don't you tell us a little bit about it, buddy?
Sure, I got you. So, I guess it's gonna be like a joint thing since Bethesda is a part of Microsoft now. So it's a joint showcase on the 13th, and we hold on the E3 2021 on a showcase on Sunday, June 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And yeah, basically, they don't have like any games announced. They have like rumors of games that possibly might be announced. Might be some more information on Halo Infinite. They might be able to talk about, what was it called, Everwild from Rare, Avowed from Obsidian Entertainment, some more footage for Perfect Dark, which I really want them to show because I lost my shit when I saw that. More information about the new Fable, possibly was it Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2 from Ninja Theory, and the new Forza Motorsport, which I about, but we're gonna move on. And then Bethesda could be talking about Starfield and the new Elder Scrolls. So yeah, it's just all rumors right now.
We should all put a bet in right now. Not really, no money. But when do we think Starfield's coming out?
Holiday 2022.
Holiday 2022 says Dudious. Okay, what about you, Reggae?
2025. February.
I think holiday anything is a little bit ambitious. I would say spring 23.
Okay. Kyle, Johnny, do you?
I was gonna say early to mid 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing here because I don't really see that like soon at all.
Right. I know. That whole entire thing has been fun to watch. Like just explode.
Are you
on
calling
Twitter.
your shot over there, Pat?
Oh, Dad, I'm doing nothing but calling shots tonight. That's my shot.
When's Elder Scrolls 6 announced? Like 3 years ago now?
Man, yeah. I was gonna say that's another
A
one.
new port of Skyrim 2 or something.
Yeah. We don't even get Elder Scrolls 6. We just get Elder Scrolls 5.5.
It's just another port of Skyrim again.
It's gonna happen. When the Switch Pro comes out, man, it's gonna launch right with Skyrim, 4K.
We'll see. Jesus.
And Resident Evil 4.
Switch edition.
The entire backlog of Resident Evil. What are you talking about, man? Come on.
I would love that. If they had the freaking collection of all the Resident Evil games, that would be fucking dope.
The anthology.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Yum, yum.
So moving right along, Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about all this Dragon Quest nonsense that's coming out, man?
It's interesting that you phrase it as nonsense, but I'll give you a pass on that this one time.
Oh no!
because most
Everyone
of it
knows.
was.
Hold on. Time out. The superior franchise is Final Fantasy. Can I just say it?
You may not, because that is a lie, and I can say that as somebody who literally grew up playing Final Fantasy games. Oh my God. Final Fantasy has.
What's funny is he's looking around for anybody to agree with him, and he's not finding it.
There's no one.
I won't. No, I'm shouting into the void with that one. Don't worry, I know.
We practically started a rap battle.
So
Exactly.
just to put things in a little bit of perspective, I bought the big Final Fantasy VII collector's box,
Loser.
figurines, the whole shebang, because I'm just a big Final Fantasy. Well, anyway. So I got that, and I never even finished the game. Just couldn't bring myself to do it. I got to where you're supposed to get on the boat and go, and action is really supposed to pick up, but it was just so bad. The writing was bad. The general gameplay was mediocre, and it didn't live up to the Final Fantasy that I grew up playing.
Agreed.
Dragon Quest, however, has been consistently solid, if not outstanding, in every entry possible spin-off games withstanding. Speaking of spin-off games, when we're talking about this news, they announced another Dragon Quest mobile game, some mobile puzzle game. What was the name? Dragon Quest Keshi Keshi, which...
Yes.
Zintai.
Yeah, exactly. I actually played Dragon Quest Tactics, the strategy RPG that they had on mobile for a little while, and was not impressed with that. And I want so badly to see a mobile adaptation of it that comes out well, but Tactics wasn't good, and I have a lot of hope in this mobile puzzle game. But what I do have a lot of faith in is this Dragon Quest III HD remake. Done in the Octopath Traveler style. I think it looks brilliant. Yes. Octopath Traveler's art was amazing. The engine was wonderful. The game itself was just meh. So when you take a game that's already good, like Dragon Quest III, and gussy it up in that amazing art style and turn it into something that it really should have been but couldn't 30 years ago, I'm really excited to see the way that they actually pull that off.
Oh, for sure.
Outside of that, we got the obvious Dragon Quest XII announcement, which, surprise, it'll be another mainline Dragon Quest game, and I'm sure we'll all get exactly what we're looking for out of that, but I don't think it's going to hold any major surprises there.
Yeah. It's exciting stuff. See, for me, I think what it was is it's Jonathan's fault, because he didn't show me Dragon Quest growing up. He showed me Final Fantasy IX, which then led to my weird chibi collection of these adorable Final Fantasy IX characters. But yeah, I grew up just playing Final Fantasy. That's why I've always just done that. And one thing you learn on this show is I'm going to stick with one thing and die on that hill, no matter how stupid it is. Switch is the best console ever created. It's better than Xbox, and it's better than any PlayStation crap. And Final Fantasy is better than Dragon Quest. So we're just gonna say that now. But I'm excited. I think Dragon, like you just said, having Dragon Quest 3 come out in HD with the Octopath Traveler, animations and stuff like that, like just the look of it and everything, is a brilliant idea. I think it's going to really sell because Octopath was pretty popular with a lot of JRPG fans, and this is a chance for people who've never played that game or Dragon Quest. They don't really know what it is. Weird. It's a very huge franchise. I'm sure people know it, but there are people who don't. This is a great opportunity for them to play it.
Yeah,
I know the games are well
back
loved.
when it was Dragon Warrior. And,
yeah, exactly. You old men.
I mean, they basically shut down Japan when a new Dragon
back
Quest
in my day.
Sorry, I was too busy collecting Pokemon cards. Okay, I can't help it.
Actually, funny story. Pokemon was what got me into Dragon Quest in the first place because a friend of mine introduced me to Dragon Warrior Monsters for the Game Boy Color, and he was like, "Oh, it's like Pokemon, I promise." One, it was not like Pokemon.
No, not at all.
But two, it was a ton of fun anyway, and that got me into Dragon Warrior / Dragon Quest as a franchise.
How do you feel about Dragon Quest Builders?
Lukewarm.
Okay.
I don't think it's the worst thing, but it's not really my speed.
Yeah. A couple of friends that I have, they really liked it and they said that I should check it out, but I don't listen to my friends ever, so I never played them. But I don't know. I like the look of Dragon Quest because it's the same artwork from the guys that did Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah, the character designs are Akira Toriyama.
Exactly. So that right there was very attractive to me. I just never picked up a game. I think I played. Didn't they re-release a couple of them on the Game Boy Advance? I want to say. Or Game Boy or Game Boy Color.
1 and 2 that they re-released back then.
Yeah.
We're starting to date me here because I had the game that you're talking about, and I want to say it was 1 and 2.
Okay.
But I was late middle school at the time, I think.
Right. Well, because that's the only real Dragon Quest game I've ever played was whatever one was on either Game Boy Color, or Game Boy Advance. Because an old buddy of mine, he let me borrow it because I wanted to get into it because I think it was right when 11 was coming out in the States, I want to say, on the PS4. Is that correct? 2 years ago, maybe?
Oh, this was very recent.
So, yeah, exactly. That was my first time playing a Dragon Quest game, was that. And I was like, this sucks. I hate this. And I just loaded up Final Fantasies 1 and 2, Dawn of Souls on my Game Boy Color and just played that instead. But
just go play Dragon Quest 8. You can have Trunks as your main character and you're good to go.
Exactly, because it's the same, guy who made Dragon Ball Z. Just ripping off characters and just reusing
Johnny
assets.
represented over there. I see you over there, Johnny. I like it.
Dragon Boy.
Also, they did the same. They did that work for Chrono Trigger. That little game.
Yeah, it's a very distinct art style.
It is.
So that's another game that I just didn't really get a chance to play. I own it on the PlayStation, but I just never played it. I think I got into it a little bit and then it just stopped.
They've re-released it about a dozen times now. Just pick it up on any one of like 7 consoles.
Yeah, that's true. That's
just avoid the cell phone version. It's awful.
I don't play anything on my phone. My phone is meant to make phone calls, text people, and look at cool stuff on the internet. I don't want to play video games on my phone. I think that's stupid. That's another hill that I'm going to die on right here. I'm saying it now. Mobile gaming is dumb.
The one thing I wanted to bring up was that it looked way better, I thought, than what Octopath Traveler actually looked. Because when you're playing Octopath, your character sprites are like that big, and like they're really muddy looking, and everything else in the environment looks way better. But the characters have like no personality visually, whereas in Dragon Quest 3, they have all the personality of the original sprites, but with all the bells and whistles that the Unreal Engine brings to the table, especially in the lighting. So I thought that made it look really, really enticing.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is I should play this.
You should play the 3 HD remake.
Well, you both were talking at the same time. I have no idea what either one you said. Chris, you go first.
Well, short answer, yes. It's it's Octopath Traveler, except without all the mediocrity of Octopath Traveler, is what it looks like.
Gotcha. Dudious Max, please continue. What were you saying?
Hard agree.
Okay. Now, before we move on to Pat's story, I do have to ask you guys: did you ever play Bravely Default 1, that other weird sequel, not sequel, and then the actual sequel?
I have not played Bravely Default of any sort.
Okay.
Default 2nd, Bravely Default 2, none of it.
I've dipped my toe into just about all of them and did not get very far in any of them.
Yeah, I played a lot of the first one, didn't play that Bravely second game, and then I just picked up the second Bravely Default 2 when it first launched because I'm a huge fan of JRPGs, and it was just like I want something to sink my teeth into, and it was not good. I was just curious if you guys have played them since we were having a little nice conversation about good games, but
I haven't played it.
So moving right along, Pat, why don't you go ahead and tell us about this Xbox Series X DRM stuff?
All right, so throughout the week there's been kind of a back and forth going on. Originally, a YouTuber by the name of Modern Vintage Gamer. If you're not familiar with his work, I highly recommend checking out his channel. He's the main developer of the port for Shantae to the Switch, the old Game Boy Color game.
Oh, Shantae.
He's the one who ported it over to the Switch.
Okay.
So he's not a dumb guy when it comes to tech stuff.
Okay.
So he finally got a Series X and tried to boot up some old games, checking out backwards compatibility and stuff like that, and ran into a bunch of problems.
Okay.
He posted a video early in the week, and it caught a lot of momentum, especially in a reset era for him. And Johnny, do you have the little slide I sent you?
Yeah.
Can we put that up on the screen?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm about to do that right now. But go ahead and keep talking. I'm about to.
So I was reading through all this information, and it was getting kind of confusing for me based on like, well, when do you need internet? The crux of the story is there are various requirements of having the internet available when you're working with an Xbox Series X. For instance, you absolutely cannot register or begin using a Series X without having an internet connection. The console is completely useless until you connect it to the internet.
Amazing.
When we get the slide up here, I just want to listen. I'm gonna be a teacher in high school, so I only know how to present stuff in slideshow format.
No, you're fine.
So
I'll pull it up right now.
Or how to put a movie on.
So
Where's your best Ben Stein voice?
Awesome. But basically in this forum, an actual Xbox system developer got on. He's trying to clarify all this information, and this is what he came up with. If you're putting into the Series X an Xbox or an Xbox 360 game, to play it, you have to have an internet connection when you install it, because it's downloading the game and an emulator. The disc is just a copy of your license.
Right.
It does nothing else for you. Xbox One, again, it's on installation because you have to download specific configuration files that work with the Series X.
Okay.
If it's Xbox Series X Smart Delivery, it depends on what's actually printed onto the disc. Or right now, most Smart Delivery games require additional downloads over the internet because it's just a stub of the install. They have like the Xbox One version on the disc and then a stub of the Xbox Series X version. So it needs to download. But if you have a native Series X disc, you do not need an internet connection to install and play the game.
Okay.
Well, why is this important? Why do any of us care? Well, to me, as a person who's gone various periods of his life without an actual stable internet connection, it would frustrate me if I had my console and a game that I had paid for and I wasn't able to use it because of all these requirements for internet.
Yeah.
The MVG video seems like he had some issues with whether or not he had the home console set up, if it was his primary console, whatever the fact is. It's not the easiest thing to use these modern consoles without an internet connection.
Okay.
So I wanted to try and just make sure that again, I'm gonna be a dumb high school teacher. So like these little specific situations are when you would need an internet connection. But most importantly, I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on whether what you think about are people just making a big deal out of nothing? Do you guys not even care, or is it something that kind of irritates you in any way? Like, what's your guys' take?
I can definitely sympathize with that. I'm sure you remember the olden days when either or both of us was on a different continent trying to get any kind of reliable internet and play games with each other.
Yeah, so I mean, but the background for me is I spent 6 years in the military and 4 years on a aircraft carrier where there was no internet connection. So this was during the time of Xbox 360, which was really convenient because there was no need to be always online. Even like you could download games off of Xbox Live and they would just play. It felt a lot like what the Switch feels like now. As long as you have downloaded it and have played it once on your account, if it's your primary Switch, there's no problem. Like I was on a flight to Florida a couple of weeks ago and it was beautiful. There's no problem without internet. But Xbox specifically seems to be way worse than the other two.
Yeah. See, that drives.
Yeah.
Oh, go on, Ryan.
Now, why can't they just is it a space issue of basically downloading the entire game to your system? Like if you download it to your system, it's there. It should be in your memory. Why can't you just play without an internet connection?
It depends on what you're talking about, Ryan. So like if you're talking about like the smart delivery and stuff, it's because the game isn't actually on the disc. So the disc will typically come with the Xbox One version, and the free upgrade that you get from whatever game it is will be downloaded afterwards because the disc only contains what's called a stub. It's basically like a chunk of the game that then will prompt for the download of the remainder of the game before it'll start.
Yeah, well, it would just suck if you're really looking forward to playing a game and then internet goes out.
Yeah,
can't play my game. That would blow chunks, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. Like they're kind of getting rid of accessibility for certain people because not everybody has the most stable internet connection. Kind of like what Crisco was talking about, being on 2 separate continents. And I saw your comment in the chat trying to play Modern Warfare 2 with a little dongle in Italy. Amazing, first of all, love that. But going, like I remember growing up, my buddy had like a tree house, and we would, he had a little ran this long, extension cable out there, and we'd have a TV. And he would bring out like his Xbox or whatever, and we'd be in like a little tree fort playing each other and like Killer Instinct, stuff like that. You can't do that, with the new Xbox Series X stuff with this going on. And like, what if you're taking your Xbox over to your grandma's house or something like that? Like, if you got a 12-year-old kid who, he's playing Doom Eternal, he's just playing through. I know, 12-year-old kid with Doom Eternal, perfect scenario. But he wants to continue to play his game, but he's at his grandma's house and she doesn't believe the internet is a good thing because it's going to kill you or something. And he can't play his game anymore. Like, I feel like they're just, I understand why it's happening. I do get it, but I just still think it sucks for people because not everybody has the ability to have internet always on. Like not everybody has that ability. I don't know why I repeated myself, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I think it sucks, but I get it.
Right. I mean, it's tough to like be on the side of, well, companies needed to defend their property and not let a bunch of pirated copies get out. But by the same token, you can't really hurt paying customers. Like you can't make it harder on a paying customer just to screw over a couple of pirates. Like that's exactly the crux of the argument.
Yeah.
You got to draw a line between protecting your IP and allowing accessibility for the people who've legitimately purchased content.
Right, exactly. And I like how you brought up the Nintendo Switch because it's the greatest console ever. Being able to play it literally anywhere you want to go. You get on the internet at your house, you download Doom, you go to your grandma's house, you're scaring the living crap out of her, playing Doom, killing demons. It's fantastic. Or you could take off the Joy-Con, throw it to your grandma, you guys can play Mario Kart. Segue, Mario Kart. Like I said last podcast, I'm calling it now. It's still going to be the launch title for whatever this new Nintendo Series X Switch console is going to be. But yeah, I just, I don't know. I don't like that. Johnny, how do you feel about this?
This is bull. Because okay, so I initially, so when I looked like all the information and did the research and looked at the video itself, I'm like, this is like another thing against this specific console because the PS5 doesn't have that problem, and it showed footage of that particular thing in that video. It's just like, Yeah, you can basically offline and play Returnal and then with no internet connection whatsoever, no problems. It's just like, okay, the smart delivery is like, hey, you need to be on the internet, but you can't play a game that you legitimately bought digitally or physically until you were connected on the internet. And but the thing is, with native ones, which they don't really have that many games for the Series X, no problems. So I'm trying to understand, like, they aren't really in a good spot right now, whether it's like a shortage or anything else like that. And when the Series X first came out, they had overheating issues. This is another strike against them, so it's really not gonna make people get this damn console now. So I'm just kind of like, do I really want this damn thing? Because I really don't want to have this problem on a constant basis. But
yeah, so real quick, who here is even remotely interested in getting an Xbox Series X if you haven't already gotten one? Why? Please explain. Give me an elevator pitch on why it's a console that you feel the need to purchase right now. Anyway,
I like a lot of the stuff on Game Pass. I like Game Pass as a concept, and I like Xbox, and I want the new one.
okay, fair enough. I was gonna say
that's a dude answer.
Because I was gonna say, like, I have, like, for me, for example, like, I have an Xbox One X. Why do I need to buy a new console?
Oh, I'm in the same boat as you. Like, I'm not in a hurry to get a Series X. Like, if you compare the Series X, sorry, the Xbox One X to the like the graphical output and mini games with the Series S, they're right next to one another. Like, there's not like, you need to get the Series X to make it a discernible jump. But I do know that I could be playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition in 4K at 60 frames per second if I had a Series X instead of just an Xbox One X, and that kills me a little bit inside.
Yeah, for me, it's more or less like, yeah, it's not like an urgency to get it. I would like to get it, but it's not really like, okay, I need to get this now because there's a lot of stuff I can just do with my Xbox One X that could possibly do the exact same thing with that. And it's just like, I'm not really in a hurry to drop $500. And like the thing is, I don't really have any issues. And I have a feeling if I actually get that system and then start booting it up and everything, I'm gonna have all types of problems, and I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Did you have any problems with your PS5?
No, actually, I haven't really had any issues. I think the only thing was I was first trying to figure out how to turn the thing off because the power button wasn't really obvious. So I legitimately had to like use the controller to turn it off. And then one day I just saw it, so I was like, "What's this little button here?" I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" It's like this little small tiny button, and next to the eject button on the side, I was like, "I'm fucking." Oh my god, I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
I want it to always be on, just always on, constantly.
I love
shut
you,
the damn
Johnny.
thing off.
I love you so much. Thank you. That was amazing. I don't know how to turn this thing off.
I'm helping her to sleep tonight.
Shut up! Shut up!
Guess I'll just have to play forever.
Yeah. They got you. Always on, like Ryan said. Oh, I love it. I love it. But do you know what I love a little bit more? Rumors. Actually, I hate them. I just want cold hard facts. I want to know, where is this Nintendo Switch Pro? In fact, we're going to talk a little bit about that. So from an article from Reset Era, we've got some speculations. So this guy, Lunanato, he posted some stuff from a Chinese accessories manufacturer. He goes on to say, pretty much same size, but with bigger OLED screen, 7 inches. So almost no bezels. Current Joy-Cons compatible. Surface style flap for tabletop gaming. Micro SD slot behind this flap on the back for easier access. Nice. Slightly thicker dock with 2 USB 3.0 ports and an Ethernet port. 4K TV output. And it would arrive in Europe at the end of November. And actually, he edited it and it goes, it seems like this could be later than in other regions, but this is not confirmed with very limited units. So my question to the group, we kind of talked about it last week too, so I don't want to go too long on this, but when do you guys think this is going to happen? Like, first off, I want 2 answers to this. 1, when are we going to hear about this, first of all? And second, like, when are we going to get the announcement, like with like a trailer and everything like that, they showcase it? And then second, when does it come out? I want to hear first from Kyle because you've been awfully quiet this podcast.
Never.
Great.
Never.
Moving on.
Come out tomorrow.
That's my answer. You know me. I play PlayStation. I don't buy other systems.
You have a GameCube right behind you, though.
Did I buy it?
All right, Johnny, Black Kool-Aid, no sugar added, my friend.
Right.
When do you think we will first off hear about it, and then second, when do you think it will come out?
So I would assume, and it's probably like the most obvious answer, that they might have some type of details in E3 next month, but it's not totally guaranteed, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be under wraps because there's so many damn rumors that's been coming out. It's like the second or third time something came out for this damn thing. And I'm going to be honest, like, I think they're got the ears to the streets. It's like, yeah, we definitely don't need to say anything right now. We're going to keep this under wraps and let them keep speculating. But I would assume they're going to have some type of details, E3. And if there's going to be a release date, it just might be like 1 or 2 years off. From
really? You think it's that far out?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, it's producing not brand new, but more or less like an updated version of the Switch. You got to make the screen bigger. You got to have graphic capability and stuff like that. That takes a while. And if it wasn't already in production and just now starting to get into production, it's going to take a minute. So I would assume that it would at least a year. From now. At least a year.
Gotcha.
But if it's going to be pushed back a little bit just to get that little tinkerage, maybe 2, but I'd say 1.
Okay, Ryan.
So I think that I'm going to make a very specific prediction: is that we're going to see a trailer for this dropped next Thursday. Nintendo likes to drop things on Thursday. They'll just drop it on Twitter. It'll be like a 5 to 10 minute little presentation, similar to what they do with the Switch Lite. And I think they're going to do this to kind of get out ahead of the news cycle for E3. People are going to be talking about it. And then once we get into E3, then at their presentation, they'll be able to talk more about, okay, what are the games coming to it? What are our partners bringing to it? I think we're going to see it this holiday season, maybe like a September, October release. And I think you're going to see it launch alongside Breath of the Wild 2. And I think, it's going to be a big push into this holiday season. The question remains, how many systems you think they can pump out with the chip shortage and everything. Of course, bots and scalpers are going to be all over it. But that's what I'm predicting. Next week, a reveal leading up to E3.
Okay, Crisco.
I would say Regai's a little bit more optimistic than me. I think we could see an announcement at E3 this year, but at the earliest, I would say holiday 2022 on shelves. Primarily because of the exact chip shortage that he just mentioned. Mm-hmm. PS5 has been out for as long as it has, and we're still seeing it sold out everywhere. Which, by the way, I'm pretty salty about that. Final Fantasy VII Remake content is locked behind the PS5, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we've got this chip shortage going on, and things are just now starting to get back into gear. And I guarantee you that just about every major chip manufacturer has a backlog that they have to work through before they can even pretend to start working on Nintendo stuff.
True.
So
smart.
I would say they'll probably announce it at E3.
Okay.
But we're looking at a point where we're going to have to take some time to build back up to any sort of real production volume and speed and catch up with everything that we've missed for so long.
Okay.
Where I don't think this holiday season is realistic. And that's just the most likely scenario in my mind.
Makes sense. I completely understand where you're coming from, but I want to hear from you, the dude himself.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and guess that the Bloomberg article is going to be pretty much 100% correct. Mm-hmm. Ryan's onto something about the announcement date. Thursday's probable. I'm going to give it a Friday just to be different. It's
I love it.
You can't say the same thing as the other guy, but it will be next week, and here's the reason. They're going to show all the Nintendo games on the Switch Pro. Mm-hmm. So that all the frame rates are going to look better. The resolutions are going to look as good as they can. Everything that can be upscaled will be. So they're going to want to have that little thing at the bottom of every trailer or every gameplay video, shown on Switch Pro. They want to get everybody psyched up for it. So they're going to announce it next week. I'm calling Friday. Release date. I'm looking at the calendar now, and I'm going to go with October, and I'm actually going to call.
He's got a date.
They love
it.
Monday or Sunday releases, don't they, for their consoles? Give me October 17th. Put me down for October 17th.
You got it. For
okay.
All right.
And it's gonna be called
Remind
it's gonna be called the
me.
new Nintendo Switch.
Oh, he's got a name
Yeah,
too,
I think-
boys.
I
He's
think
got a
you're
name.
right. I think you're right, Pat. I think I hate that I agree, but I agree.
Good job with your console names, Nintendo.
I hate that.
But
I hate that naming structure
Hold on.
so much.
You're gonna give them crap, but you're not gonna say anything about the Xbox naming how they named their consoles.
Oh,
So
fuck off.
Don't get me wrong. Series S and Series X are stupid.
Yes,
But
I agree.
that doesn't excuse the fact that Nintendo has a pattern of this stuff. All right.
well, and that's why I think they stay away from the Super Nintendo Switch, which I think like we've talked amongst ourselves and said that's such a great name, but like that would I think they're afraid of the trap that they fell into with the Wii U, with the Wii, when people thought that was just an incremental upgrade and not a new console. So that's why they're going to be like, all right, here's the new Nintendo Switch, just like they did with the 3DS.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the Wii versus Wii U is exactly where I was headed with that. Like, there was so much confusion over the release of the Wii U that parents just had no idea if they were just buying a little screen for their existing Wii or what. So they just didn't know, and that falls squarely on Nintendo for coming up with a name that's just an echo of the previous version. Like Xbox and Xbox 360 was fairly close, but marketed well enough that people could discern them. Wii versus Wii U was a whole lot of question marks out there.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
3DS versus new 3DS, and
also bad.
It's been a pattern for Nintendo. That's why they get crap for it.
I understand. I know.
Everyone loves to use the word plus these days, so it could be a Nintendo Switch Plus. Who knows? I don't know. It's gonna be a new Nintendo Switch. Who are we kidding?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm guessing too. So my guess is I agree with both Ryan and Pat. I think it's gonna be either next Thursday or Friday, so 7/3 or 7/4. But I'm a little. This is where I feel. I think it's gonna be released March 21st with Breath of the Wild 2. The reason I think that is because I don't think they're gonna put it out this holiday season, mainly because they've got Pokemon coming out. I know that it's not like Pokemon's not like their bread and butter, like their biggest franchise and stuff like that. But I think they don't want to take away from Pokemon sales because we already know that game's coming out on the Nintendo Switch. It's not coming out on new Nintendo Switch unless they're going to announce it when they announce this that it is going to release alongside. Who knows? I could be wrong. But I'm putting it, like I said, for a release date of March 21st with Breath of the Wild 2. My thought process behind it is because I think that's also when Horizon Forbidden West is going to come out. And if you guys remember, I'm just doing this because it happened last time. Was it March 2017? That's when we got the Switch with Breath of the Wild, and then we also got Horizon Zero Dawn. They're gonna go head to head again, baby. Let's go, round 2. Those are my thought process. But in all reality, I did not think about the chip shortage at all, and that makes a lot of sense. But I also didn't read that Bloomberg article, but I do have it pulled up, and this also makes a lot of sense. I would love it this holiday, and I would love it to have Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl come out with it as well. I'd also really love to see Metroid, but I think we all know that's not going to happen unless they pull it out of their ass.
I can dream, though. I can dream.
Sad trombones for reggae.
Yeah, seriously, like that would blow me away. But I think they're going to save that for later because there's been so many problems with the development of that game and people leaving the project and coming on and yada yada yada. But we'll see it eventually, I hope. But yeah, I think I can't see it coming out this year. I can't. I don't feel it in my bones, And I'm the Nintendo Switch guy here, okay, Ryan? I'm sorry. I know you love it too. We're Nintendo pals. We're buddies. I'm shaking your hand virtually, but it's mine. Sorry, I called dibs. And I can't see my baby coming out this soon. And if it does, it will have Mario Kart 8 4K edition, like I said last podcast.
No, Mario Kart 9, bro. Mario Kart 9.
No.
How am I the most optimistic one on the Nintendo?
I don't know. That's my concern too. I want to be. Trust me, I want it to come out this year. I can't see them doing that. I don't know. And then you also have to think about Arceus. Pokemon Legends Arceus is coming out January of 2022 for the Nintendo Switch. Again, they could just be like, haha, we lied. It's coming out for both. Now, that's another question I have for you guys. Do you think that the games are going to be backwards compatible between the two?
I think you're going to run into a situation where most games will play. Well, practically all games will play on both, and then you'll get better frame rates or resolutions on the. We're just gonna go ahead and call it the new Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
But I do want to roll back to something you just said, where you were like, well, Arceus is coming out in January. What would make a perfect bundle for the new Switch?
But we know Nintendo doesn't like to do bundles for a lot of stuff. Like, it's very rare that we get a lot of big bundles. Like, we got Splatoon 2, Mario Kart, and Animal Crossing. Am I wrong? What else was there?
Here's the thing, though. Like, if you look at the handhelds, though, there were tons of them. There was a bundle for half of everything. So like, maybe they go back to that. I think they'll actually probably end up bundling Switch Lites, but they could get through all their inventory of old, the Gen 2, or not the Gen 2, but like the Iteration 2 Switches, by slapping, Pokemon Remake stickers on them, or however the hell they brand those things.
They usually throw in an extra word there, like back in the fire red leaf green days.
Oh man. Yeah. How do you guys also feel it's going to be released at the $299 original price that the $299 price point that the original Switch was released at? Do you think that's going to be a thing, or is it going to be $399?
$399.
$399 at least.
At least.
Really?
I would not blink at $450.
Wow, really?
$450 is closer to my expectation as well.
If the Bloomberg article is right, the features are it's worth it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like I said, I have it pulled up right now. I'm kind of looking through it a little bit, because Bloomberg does say that it's going to phase out the original Nintendo Switch, and it's going to be released a little higher than $299. So I think, yeah, I agree. I could see that happening too, because I know Nintendo does kind of like to keep their stuff a little shorter, a little cheaper for people. But with it having 4K and just like overall, like just a much more powerful console, I can totally see them doing that, because they're going to have to make their money back eventually.
Well, Nintendo is notorious for not selling consoles at a loss to begin with. So
true. That is true.
And 400 gives them room to move down once manufacturing costs eventually start to come down, because the chip shortage is not going to last forever. Plus, they'll get better deals on screens, and they'll get better deals on, all the different components. So you would see maybe a year or two down the line where they would either be bundling games with consoles to make them more affordable, or just knocking the price down by $50. Probably around the same time you're going to start seeing the second, the next iterations of the PlayStation 5 and the Series X. Because there's always going to be a mid-gen redesign of some sort.
Always happens. So real quick before we move on, and Kyle closes us out with some Resident Evil stuff, I just want to kind of go back and talk about real quick. So I did write everybody's stuff down, so that way we can have a little, we'll have fun with this in the next few weeks and kind of see who was on the money and who was correct. So Johnny, he says shows at E3 released 2021 or 2022. I like it. You keep it vague. Good. Rye Guy says shows next Thursday, 7/3, 2021 holiday for September, October with Breath of the Wild 2. Crisco says shows at E3 released holiday 2022 because of the chip shortage. The Dude shows next Thursday or Friday, 7/3 or 7/4, released October 17th. New Nintendo Switch is the name. And then I said shows, I agree with them. Thursday or Friday, 7/3 or 7/4, released March 21st with Breath of the Wild 2. Obviously, my date was just the date I made up. Doesn't have to be that date. I just think it's going to be spring of 2022. So moving on, Kyle, how you doing, buddy?
Good, dude. How you doing?
I'm pretty great. So we've been having a really fantastic podcast, and I would like to ask you a couple of questions. You are a Resident Evil fanboy here. You love the franchise through and through. Now, has there been any new updates on the movies, some games coming out? What's going on, buddy? Hit us with it.
Well, with the movies, I just heard that they are reshooting footage as we speak, so that could either be a good or bad sign.
True.
Depending, you know what I mean? I'm personally looking forward to the movie. I don't think it's going to be anything super great, but I think it's going to be more of like a fan service movie, but I am looking forward to it. And for games, what's been rumored is that there's another game being developed in the RE engine, which could be, in my opinion, it could be the Remake 4, it could be RE9, it could be Revelations 3 maybe, and that's what I was going to get your guys' opinion on. Do you think that we'll see one now? Because I personally think that they could announce another one, just how they did with like back to back with Remake 2 and 3. If they were only a year apart, and with the success that Village has just had, it's becoming one of the most highly sold Resident Evil games. Why not just continue with that and be like, oh, now we got this to bust out, a new game, and then maybe it gets like a 2022 release date or something like that.
I mean, I could see that. You said Revelations 3. I could totally see that happening, following right after Village, because like you said, it's been such a successful thing, and they're gonna run or they're gonna want to follow that, and just keep putting out what they can because it's selling, it's working.
Steven in the chat says, "Give me 9," but I think what they're gonna do is, we have 8 that just came out. I think they're gonna go back into the history again. Maybe we'll get another remake of 1. Maybe more in a modern style, like the remakes for 2 and 3. Let's say they want to go to Code Veronica. That's a game that hasn't really been touched in a very, very long time. Maybe that deserves some kind of remake. But I mean, like Kyle, I'm with you. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I'm really sorry I couldn't make it to the discussion you guys had on Monday. But I want to play through the game. I don't want it to be spoiled. So I'm gonna first play 7, then play 8. But the more Resident Evil, the better, because it's a series that you and I, we both hold in very high regard.
So real quick, thank you guys in the chat for calling me out on that. It was 6-3, not 7-3. June is the 6th month. I can't math. Kyle knows that very well. I can't count, plain and simple. And also, I'm calling out Ryan real quick. I'm a big Resident Evil fan, but I haven't even played 7 or 8 yet. Whoa!
It's called
fired.
having responsibilities, Andrew.
I have responsibilities, and I streamed Resident Evil 7 in VR. All right.
Hey, well, you know what? What do you want? A cookie?
Yes,
There
actually.
was so much sweat that night.
If you're handing out cookies, hold on now.
Yeah, that was rough, man. Playing that game in VR, first off, scary. Second off, on stream as well. Oh my gosh. Because Kyle, he trying to make the stream much more entertaining would scare me. Like, it'd grab my leg. My wife would do the same thing too. It was not fun. But speaking of VR, aren't they working on Resident Evil 4 in VR with like a bunch of new updated features to the game?
Yeah, for the Oculus.
Right, of course. Why wouldn't they put that on PlayStation?
I bet eventually it'll probably come if we do like a VR 2 or whatever, you know what I mean? Then maybe it'll come on, but as of right now, it is only on the Oculus, which I have to steal from somebody now.
Pat, you've got a Vive, right?
No, I've got a first gen Oculus. It's almost guaranteed to not run whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
So real quick, going back to the movie, Kyle, they announced a lot of the synopsis, right? Can you explain to people who don't know what this movie is going to be? Like, what do we have in store? Like, what should we be excited about?
So, really, there hasn't been that much of the story leaked, other than that it's going to be the first 2 games wrapped into one movie. So, which is weird because, like, in the games, the first 2 games take place several months apart from each other, so it's going to be weird seeing like these 2 cohese with each other, which maybe it might be flashbacks with the characters and they're all in the city and just showing what happened. I don't really know, but I just know that we are getting the characters. We're getting Chris, we're getting Jill, we're getting Claire, we're getting Leon, we're getting Wesker. So like all these, so they're going to have a lot of story to tell in this, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. And like I've seen like screenshots and whatnot from sets. Everything looks pretty accurate to the game, so I'm really excited to see, what they're gonna do. I'm ready for a trailer to drop. It's supposed to come out in September, I think.
Is Mila Jovovich starring in him?
I hope not.
No offense to her, but I hope not.
I was asking, is Mila Jovovich still starring in them?
Oh no, thank God. No, they're doing those Monster Hunter movies now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
This goes back to video game movies being just notoriously bad from the beginning of this conversation.
That's very true. It's very true. So
my expectations aren't very high for it, but I'm still gonna see it.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, of course. So real quick, I guess there was some breaking news from comicbook.com. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Director teases final 2 DLC characters. Basically, Sakurai's latest Famitsu column, which confirms these will indeed be the final 2 DLC characters added to the game, and he hints that they could be announced at the same time and quite soon. Naturally, this has led many to believe both characters will be revealed at E3 2021 next month. Sakurai adds to this tease by noting both will also release this year. While it sounds like they could be revealed together, it's highly unlikely they will release together. So before we close this out, I just kind of want to hear from some of our Smash players. Who do you think will be the final 2? Ryan, yes, this was for you, essentially.
Okay, so this is something that Pat and I talk about quite frequently. I think we're going to see Master Chief. Nintendo and Microsoft have been very buddy-buddy.
I don't want it.
As of late. Why? Why not?
I don't want to watch those two. I don't want to watch Mario and Master Chief fight.
I want to watch
Samus,
Mario and Sephiroth fight. Yeah, or
I hate that too. I hate that too. I hate
Smash Brothers.
Everything about Smash Brothers now.
Oh,
Smash Brothers sucks now. I'm listening.
Smash Brothers. First of all, Ultimate's the best Smash Brothers game. Fight me.
Okay, I will.
Smash Brothers has become a celebration of gaming as a whole, not just Nintendo. It's great that it started as Nintendo, but now that we're getting all these third-party characters, I've seen some people are purists and like, yeah, get my third party out of here. No, bringing worlds together, and I think it's amazing. Like that Halo music's gonna hit. Master Chief's gonna drop down from the sky, and it's gonna be fucking glorious. As far as the other character who's gonna be, I always thought Crash would make a great inclusion into Smash Brothers. There you go, Johnny. There you go.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be. Well, I think there's gonna be a third party Master Chief, and then maybe one final Nintendo character. I'm not sure who. Maybe another Fire Emblem character. Who knows? I think Master Chief's a lock. Quote.
No.
I thought you guys were on a team.
I will quote you on that.
Yeah, Andrew.
Listen, sometimes you can have different opinions. Okay.
Yeah. So much for Team Switch.
No.
I'm being optimistic about the Switch, by the way.
No. I'm still Team Switch, and Ryan and I are captains. All right, we're co-captains of this ship, and we're gonna go straight into the dawn. All right, forward on to dawn. The Halo reference, I get it. Anyway, I just don't want it. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't like watching, like you said, Mario and Sephiroth fighting. It just looks dumb. I hate it so much. And then you mentioned another Fire Emblem character. No, stop.
That was a joke. That was a joke. Please don't put more Fire Emblem characters.
You got something against Super Fire Emblem Bros?
No, I love Fire Emblem, but there's way too many in Smash now. My voice is cracking. I'm getting so worked up about this.
So angry about a game.
Using his squeaky voice.
Oh god. Okay.
I have Ultimate. I don't even have all the characters unlocked though. I'll be honest, because I got bored.
What?
That is exactly my point. I can't even play.
Johnny, do you want a copy of Smash Bros. Ultimate for free? I'll give it to you.
Please do. I would love to play that game.
At least smash it in 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, pick it up, Johnny, so we can play.
Yes.
Put it back together.
I'll get my ass.
If I had better internet, I would gladly play anybody here right now. But my internet's so bad, I can't even. It's horrible. I've tried playing it online. It's just not a good time.
Nobody's internet's good enough to play Smash Ultimate Online.
No,
maybe
that netcode is just the worst. And having it peer to peer instead of actually server hosted is
it's bad.
Ryan, what were you saying, Ryan? You were.
I'm just saying if that Nintendo Switch new Pro Lite XL comes out with the Ethernet port in the dock, maybe that'll help the online. But like Chris said, if it being PvP, it's like it's bad. It's very bad.
Very bad.
You don't want peer to peer for anything where you're actively up against somebody. It's just bad practice.
Oh, can I say something?
Of course.
I was gonna say, on the whole Fire Emblem characters, like back then I used to love Fire Emblem, but like all of a sudden now the whole 3D like boom came through, and when they started announcing them for Smash, I was like shaking my head, like why? Like you had so many other people in the one.
Why not, Johnny?
Because it's like you got so many other like means of characters. You went when another Fire Emblem character is like. No.
They use it to promote Three Houses. I get it.
Listen.
It's a marketing tool as much as it is a game.
We could have an entire podcast about how much I hate Fire Emblem Three Houses and how it's one of my least favorite Fire Emblem games. But that's going to have to wait till next time, boys and girls, because this has been the Babble Games podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you liked what you heard, check back every Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/BabbleOnGames. You could also check us out over on Twitter at, I don't know what the ad is. Hold on, I had this up, but I lost it. Oh my gosh, whatever. I can't find it anymore. But at
John says wait.
John says wait.
John says wait.
John says wait.
What's up?
I can't even
call the shots and he's not even here.
I can't even pretend to be cool.
Oh yeah, Ryan's do his ending thing.
I can't even pretend to be cool with the fact that Andrew says
Ryan has to do the ending thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, well, no, I will.
Andrew,
but
I'm not sure we can be friends anymore.
What Pat said just now, Pat's personally offended, Andrew. I hope you know that. He's gonna drop
That's not the only one.
So how do you? What?
You can end it. Go ahead.
Want me to end it right now?
Yes.
All right, everyone. Remember. Whoa.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh no, it's okay. Hey, it's cool. It's cool.
God dang, it's like John says something in the chat. Look at it. It said once Andrew does the last bits. So finish Andrew and then let.
Oh yeah.
God.
Yes.
Andrew died.
Like I said, this has been the Babble Games podcast. You can find us here on twitch.tv/BabbleOnGames every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Ryan, end us, please.
And remember, everyone, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this podcast with you.
Bye.
Adios.